Hi, Dave. Hi, Linus. Hi, Crystal. Cheryl, hello. Hi, Heather. Hi, Liam. Hi, Harper. All right. Hi, Chris. Hi, Mike. Not sure who else. I don't know about Aspen, Aria, Aliyah. I've got several people joining me today. I'm going to start out with an old Charlie Pride tune. Linus asked if you can juggle for your show and tell. Well, maybe. I'm not practiced up to date, but I'll put that on my list to show a little juggling demonstration for show and tell. That's a good idea, Linus. Good thinking. You're always thinking. All right, here's a Charlie Pride tune from 1967. 1967. Hi, Jess. Charlie Pride, 1967. Oh, the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your walls. The marble statuettes are standing stately in your halls. But will the timely cry that as you're laughing aloud help you dry your tears when the new wears off of your crystal chandeliers? And it's plain to see that the likes of me don't fit with you. So you traded me for the gaiety, the well-to-do, and you turned away from the love I offered you. And now the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your wall. The marble statuettes are standing stately in the hall. But will the timely cry that as you're laughing aloud help you dry your tears when the new wears off of your crystal chandeliers? Hi, Cheryl. I see your picture in the news most every day. You're the chosen girl of the social world, so the stories say. But a paper smile, it only lasts a while, then it fades away. And the love you knew will come home to you someday. And now the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your walls. The marble statuettes are standing stately in your halls. But will the timely cry that as you laughing aloud help you dry your tears when the new wears off of your crystal chandelier? Crystal Chandeliers. Shirley Pride, 1967. Shirley Pride, one of my favorite singers. I tell you what, he used to be my favorite. He's still right up there. He was an amazing guy. He had like between 1960s and late 1980s, he had 52 hits. 52 hits up on the charts, and 8 of them were number ones. Actually, I think he had like 6 number one songs in a row. He is an amazing guy. I'm going to do another one. This is going to be a Charley Pride Day. This one is called "Is Anybody Going to San Antonio?" Raindrops dripping off the brim of my hat. It sure is cold today. Here I am walking down 66. I wish he hadn't done me that way. You're sleeping under a table in a roadside park. A man could wake up dead, but it sure seems warmer than it did sleeping in our king-size bed. Is anybody going to San Antonio or Phoenix, Arizona? Any place is alright as long as I can forget I've ever known her. Winds are whipping down the neck of my shirt like I ain't got nothing on. But I'd rather fight the wind and rain than what I've been fighting at home. Yonder comes a truck with the U.S. mail, people writing letters back home. Tomorrow she'll probably want me back, but I'll still be just as gone. Is anybody going to San Antonio or Phoenix, Arizona? Any place is alright as long as I can forget I've ever known her. Any place is alright as long as I can forget I've ever known her. Is anybody going to San Antonio? I tell you what, that was one of those 8 number ones that he had. And that one was in 1970. 1970. Is anybody going to San Antonio? There was, among that 50, there was, well, I think it was between 1969 and 1971, there was 8 number one hits he had. Came out one after another. And Is Anybody Going to San Antonio was one of them. You know, Charley Pride was actually born in 1934, which makes him, I think, 86 around there. And he performed for years and years, and he just had some great songs. He was inducted into the Country Hall of Fame. He's a member of the Grand Ole Opry. And you know what? He was actually born back in what they call Sledge, Mississippi. That's where he was born. His father was a poor sharecropper, and he had 11 kids. There was 11. There was 8 brothers and 3 sisters, I think it was. And he grew up as a young boy, of course, having all those people. And his folks didn't have a lot of money, having all those people in his family. He worked. Charley Pride worked, and he never complained. He was a hard worker. He worked shoveling coal into the boilers, and he had a lot of tough jobs. But his mother did buy him a guitar when he was a young boy, kind of like Roy Orbison. Anyway, he always had his eye on being a baseball player, and his older brother was a successful baseball player, and Charlie really was too. He actually played some successful baseball. He actually played for what they call the Memphis Red Sox in 1952. He did played for them, and in 1953, I got a couple of notes here. He played for the Negro American League in the Red Sox, and he also played for what they called the Boise Yankees, which was a farm team for the Yankees, for the New York Yankees. He played for them. He was a pitcher. And right about that time, he hurt his arm, his pitching arm. He hurt his arm, so he really couldn't cut the mustard anymore. He got where he couldn't pitch that well. And the manager of that team actually traded him and another fella, Jesse Mitchell. They traded Charlie Pride and Jesse Mitchell to another team. That team, I got a note here somewhere. I think it was, I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was the Birmingham Black Barons. They traded those two guys to the Birmingham Black Barons for a team bus. They traded them for a bus. And Charlie would joke about that sometimes. He'd say him and Jesse had the distinction of being the only two major baseball players that was traded for a used bus. Anyway, he did. But through that time, kind of another interesting thing, his manager noticed Charlie's ability for music and singing. And hi Nancy, and his manager actually hired him to play and sing before the games. So for 15 minutes before the game started, Charlie would be singing and playing as entertainment just before the game. And his manager paid him $10 a game a day to do that, which was double his salary because he was getting paid $10 a game to play. So anyway, that wasn't a heck of a lot. But he was doing okay, I guess. And he was doing what he wanted to do. And he was playing some clubs and stuff around as well. Well, there was a couple of guys, if you've heard of these guys, Red Sovine and Red Foley. Funny, those two guys with red name. But anyway, they had noticed him, and they approached him, and they encouraged him to pursue his music more. And he did, and he actually went to Memphis, and he recorded some songs in Sun Studios. And then later he actually he was contracted with RCA Records, which actually brought another distinction. There's only one guy that outsold Charlie Pride for RCA Records, and that was Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley sold more, but Charlie Pride is the second most RCA Records sold. Anyway, along about that time, in 1969, for a couple of years, he came out with these 8 songs, and I got them listed here, and they were all Billboard #1 hits. For All I Have to Offer You Is Me, I'm So Afraid of Losing You Again, I Can't Believe That You Stopped Loving Me, I'd Rather Love You, Is Anybody Going to San Antonio, which I just did, Wonder Could I Live There Anymore, I'm Just Me, and Kiss an Angel Good Morning. And so after he had gone to RCA Records, I think it was 1969, he put out those 6 songs right there. Every one of them was the #1. And they were huge, huge hits. You just don't realize how big Charlie Pride was. And he's just such a meek, nice guy. He's black, and there wasn't many black singers around back in the day when he was making it. And he actually did a big show. He had been advertised to go to this show, do a show. It was huge, and there's a lot of people showed up. And they announced him, but they had advertised him, but they never put his picture out. So that people didn't really know he was black. But he walked out on they announced him, and everybody was clapping, and he walks out there, and the applause just kind of died. That's what it was back then. We don't pay attention now, but so it just kind of died, and he kind of jokingly says, well, he says, I know it's not the normal for a guy coming out here with a permanent suntan singing country music. And that kind of broke the ice. And he started performing. And ever since then, he's a huge, huge hit. And he's still around. You know, he did a lot better than Hank Williams and Roy Orbison. Anyway, he's still out there, and he actually has done some things recently. He actually he produced an album maybe 5 years ago or something, fairly recently anyway. Well, I'm going to do another Charley Pride song after all that. And it's going to be right off of one of these top 8 that he had there. This one's Kiss an Angel Good Morning. Whenever I chance to meet some old friends on the street, they wonder how does a man get to be this way? Anytime and any place, I've always got a smiling face, and the answer is in the song that I always sing. You've got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. You've got to kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. People may try to guess the secret of my happiness, but some of them never learn it's a simple thing. The secret I'm speaking of is a woman and a man in love, and the answer is in the song that I always sing. You got to kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. You got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. Well, every time a chance to meet some old friends on the street, they wonder how does a man get to be this way? I've always got a smiling face, anytime and any place. And every time you ask me why, I just smile and say, you got to kiss an angel good morning, love like the devil when you get back home. You got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. You got to kiss an angel good morning, let her know you think about her when you're gone. You got to kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. Yes, sir, Charley Pride. Kiss an Angel Good Morning. That one was from 1971 is when he did that. You know, today they're going to run the Kentucky Derby. Not really, but kind of. They designed it, in case probably everybody knows, but they've actually taken the last 13 winners when they win the 3 major races during the year. The Triple Crown winners. There's 13 of them. And they've modeled them in computers. And they're going to run them virtually against each other. And they're going to show it. And so it's at supposed to be at around 5:45. They're going to run that. It should be pretty interesting. And so you might want to watch that just for fun. It'll be something to do too. And so it'll be, everybody's thinking Secretariat, that was the really big one, you know. They think that's probably the winner, but they don't know. They really don't know. They're going to run all the data against each other, and those 13 horses will be running today. So that's something to watch. I'm going to do one more Charlie Pride song. Today's Charlie Pride. And this song wasn't really Charlie Pride's nearest biggest song at all. But to me, I think it's my favorite Charlie Pride song. It is such a good song. I love this song. This one's called The Little Folks. We've decided we can't get along. We might as well call it a day. We've agreed to disagree and go our separate ways. We just don't seem to get along. We argue and we fuss. So we've agreed that to part as friends is best for both of us. But what's gonna happen to the little folks? To the little folks? To the little folks? What's gonna happen to the little folks that live in our house? Since we've decided we can't work it out, we might as well end it this time. We've fought enough and fussed enough and said too much this time. So we've agreed to disagree and set each other free. You go your way and I'll go mine. That's best for you and me. But what's gonna happen to the little folks? The little folks, the little folks. What's gonna happen to the little folks who live in our house? Maybe someday we'll look back and see how foolish we've been. 'Cause we might find it's the little ones who lose in the end. So maybe things are not so bad. We're still in love, you and I. Maybe we can work it out if we give one more try. We owe that much to the little folks. The little folks. The little folks. We owe that much to the little folks who live in our house. We owe that much to the little folks. The little folks. The little folks. We owe that much to the little folks who live in our house. All right, there it is. Charlie Pride's Little Folks. I think that is my favorite Charlie Pride song. Okay. Well, there's my show for today. I think I went over my time a little bit. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And be sure and learn something today. Did you learn something yesterday? It's a little cooler today. It's not too bad out there. I think it's about time for me to take my bike ride. I've been trying to ride about 4.5 miles every day, and I've been making it pretty close. And I had a couple people telling me, thank you, Cheryl, that they thought I was looking a little thinner. So I don't know. Maybe it's working. Anyway, I'm going to go try to ride it again. I got to get a little exercise. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today for my webcast. Have a good day. I'm signing out. This is Carl.